Hi everybody, Alex Employer from Expert Forex. This is a recording of a webinar held on the 31st of March. And what we've covered in this webinar are RSI signals of market uncertainty. The RSI is a fantastic indicator, and you'll see how it also can be used to show market uncertainty. Also, when there is market uncertainty and consolidation in the market, we've looked at some straddle techniques when the market does consolidate. This webinar was also planned as a GTM support and feedback webinar. We'll also have a look at the stock market's amazing recovery that is taking place. Hi everybody, Alex Employer from Expert Forex, and welcome to today's webinar. It is Tuesday, the 31st of March, and we're going to be looking at the Forex market, but also looking at the grid trend multiplier. I have dedicated this particular webinar to support on the grid trend multiplier. Unfortunately, I have not received any email questions or comments or anything like that. So there's nothing I can respond to. If there's anybody in the room with any questions or comments, I'll gladly respond to them. But at the moment, I have no support questions to respond to. Okay, so let's have a look at the stock markets, because at the moment they are driving the volatility and uncertainty in the market. And I'll just share that screen with you. Okay, so there we are. We've got the stock market screen. You can see a good recovery happening in the stock markets at the moment, all going up. Up. So a return in confidence, partially, you can see it's almost a 1/3 recovery in most cases. So there is a good return in confidence, and hopefully that will start stabilizing the financial markets to a certain degree. Okay, so let's move on to the Forex markets. Okay, the first thing that I looked at this morning was the state of the Forex markets in terms of the latest price action, and I've gone right down to the 1 hour multiple moving average charts. And what is quite interesting there is that the market is consolidating considerably. Look at the pound; it's consolidating sideways. The Oz is consolidating sideways. The euro is consolidating. In other words, the moving average are pinching. Franc, the CAD is the only one that's got a slight little trend happening, and the yen, just look at that yen consolidation there. The pound yen consolidation there, and then there again the Aussie is having has a slight little upward movement at the moment, but mostly they are all in a consolidation mode. Now, what does that tell you when the prices start consolidating? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to the actual charts, the 1 hour charts, just show you a bit more of that. And here you can see the sideways movements. Look at the sideways movement on the price, sideways movement on the price, sideways, sideways, sideways. All over you just see sideways movements on price. So what does that tell you? Firstly, it tells you the market is uncertain about the future. So what they're saying, we don't know what's going on, but we'll just stay where we are. There's no driving force in the market that is driving this particular market. Now, there's an element of danger when that happens, and there's an element of opportunity when that happens. So let's have a look at the opportunity side of things. So when something like that happens, and I'll just take the pound as an example. A lot of traders, what they say is, we don't know what's going to happen. In fact, what happens when the market consolidates a lot, it actually takes all the drivers that normally drive technical analysis, it's basically neutralizing them. It's just saying, whatever has happened before, we don't know what's happening right now, so we are just going sideways. And as you can see on this chart there was a beautiful trend line violation, but it just fitted out and just went sideways. So there's a lot of funny things going on in the market. It's a warning to us to be cautious, extra cautious. And so what do? Where's the opportunity? So one of the opportunities obviously is a straddle. So you say, all right, I don't know where the market's going, but let the market tell me what it wants to do. So what you do is you just enter a buy at the top and a sell at the bottom, and you say, okay, market, when you finally decide what you want to do, you tell me, and it takes your pending order, your buy pending order, your sell pending order, and it takes you with it. So that's one strategy of taking advantage of a consolidation. Consolidations are typically, when they do break out, they break out in a big way. So there's an opportunity. The other danger is this can continue for a long time, and the market can just drift around and drift around. Now, more evidence of this dangerous market, or the consolidation market, can be seen on the RSI. That's what makes the RSI such a fantastic indicator, because if the RSI on the whole market is moving towards the 50 line, the 50 line is the border between bears and the bull market. So the 50 line will tell you what is going on. And now if the price slowly drifts towards the 50 line on all of the RSI indicators, and let's have a look there, it's close to the 50 line, it's close to the 50 line, it's close to the 50 line, close. That as we said, the CAD is the only one that's showing some form of movement at the moment. That's right on the 50 line, very close, right on, very close, very close. So when the RSI is close to the 50 line, again, it's confirming that there's indecision in the market, and that normal technical analysis factors are basically put on hold. So on this chart here, the green trades are from last week. I'll just keep them on the chart to follow them. And then the blue trades are from yesterday. And you can see here in the pound, although that is a beautiful sell signal, a divergence, trend line violation, boom, the market's going nowhere. So it's failing there. That's another great trade that seems to be going nowhere. And that was another one, again, beautiful setup, even a trend line violation on the price mark. And so those signals still apply. I'm not going to add to any of the signals. I'm not going to enter any deals at the moment because of this level of uncertainty. Now, if you guys spot anything else in the market that I might have missed, please let me know. I'll see if there's anybody shooting through any notes. Okay, yes, there's no inquiries coming through. But again, here's the daily chart, and some of those earlier signals from last year has worked beautifully. They're now reversing because the signals are only really an entry signal. That's not an exit signal. You've got to exit in different ways, but certainly all of those entries have worked beautifully last week. And this week, there is nothing much going on here. There was one over there. You can see there was a signal. I actually missed it in yesterday's analysis. So, but there was definitely a signal. I'm going to just put that in as a signal. I hope this comes through as a blue signal there. Then otherwise, it's not. There's nothing exciting happening at the moment. So unfortunately, there are days when nothing much exciting happens, and we've just got to let them move on. And what you'll find is it's either feast or famine. Some days you have hundreds of signals, and other days you have none. And today is one where the market is definitely showing indecision, small candles, sideways candles, and as I said, the one strategy that you can use here is a breakout strategy by straddling the price and buying breakouts to the top and selling breakouts to the bottom using pending orders. So you don't even have to watch the market. You just put those pending orders in place and go on from there. All right, I'm just going to have a look. I see there's no questions for grid trend multiplier trading. These sessions are supposed to be discussion sessions, question and answer sessions. I respond to your questions, you respond to my explanations, and that's how it works. So we're going to postpone the grid trend multiplier discussion to a later date when there are more people in the room, and when I've received more email requests and questions that I can deal with. So from me, Alex Deploy, cheerio.